Hi everyone, this is Donetta with the Montana Career Lab. To start out with, we're going to be on the Montana Career Lab page. And to get to the Montana Career Lab page, if you just go up here to your address bar and you type in careers.mt.gov, you will get to our Career Lab homepage. On this page, there's training videos. So this is a good place to come. We're going to be adding more and more training videos out here. Right now, there's logging into MCIS, creating staff accounts, creating your user portfolios in MCIS, and some other things. There's actually the latest one that just got released out there is transferring portfolios. So if you want to come out and check this one out, this is a step-by-step tutorial on how to transfer portfolios also. Okay, if we scroll down a little bit, here's a list of upcoming webinars. So we have a couple more this week. The next one tomorrow is on checklists. And then the last one this week is MCIS for the job seeker. And then we also have MCIS publications. So there's Junior Framework Book, the MCIS Junior Workbook, which you can order for your 5th through 8th grade students. And there's the Montana Career Guide, which you can order for your high school students. And then we also have the MCIS Career Plan, which is a career development framework for high school. And then there's subject-specific curricula for MCIS and some promotional materials that you can get. So that's the good stuff that's on the MCIS resources. I'm sorry, I started on the wrong page. So when you type in careers.mt.gov, it doesn't come up to the MCIS resource page. So careers.mt.gov. I could do this a different way, but I just wanted to show you how easy it is to type that in there. So this is the main careers.mt Career Lab page. And so there's these little sections. There's one for students, parents, educators, and job seekers. MCIS resources is right here. So to get to that resource page that we were just on, you click on that. And then we also have a Facebook page. So if you haven't gone out and liked the Facebook page, we post or try to post daily activities. Mondays are for little kids. Tuesdays are for like 2nd and 3rd grade. Wednesdays are for a little bit older. Thursdays, I've been posting some other Career One Stop videos, and then Fridays I do post for high school students or adults. Okay, anyway, back to business. To get to the MCIS login, you're going to go up here to this little button here, and you're going to click on that, and that's going to open up the login portal. You're going to want to make sure that you're logging into this blue area. The Montana resident login is for anyone in Montana to log in, but if somebody already is associated with a school or an agency, they're going to have their own login, username and password, and they're going to log in this area. The only people that would log in through Montana residents are people who just come to the page and are interested in looking at MCIS, but generally everyone should log in through this blue area. So I'm going to go ahead and log into our high school training site. All right, so this is the high school training site. This is the administrative side of the system, which is where most all of you should land when you log into the system with your username and password. You should have either an administrative username and password or a staff account username and password that you log in with. If you don't, you can contact us and we can get that for you. So just make sure you're logging in with your login. You should land on this administrative page. It's the same for everybody, whether you're logging in through the middle school site or a high school site or an adult college site. All of the sites on the admin side are exactly the same, so there's no difference between them on the admin side. It's the student side of the system where you will see a difference. To get to the student or client side of the system, you're going to go up here to the top and you're going to click on Go to CIS. So this shows you how to get to the student side of the system, which you can use and save things to. For transferring portfolios, though, you're going to want to be in the site administration area. So we're going to toggle back over there again. Whoops. One more time. All right. So we're going to go to Portfolios and Groups tab. We're going to hover over that. And this is actually where you're going to do the bulk of managing your student portfolios or client portfolios. Down here, it has transfer to another site. So the great thing about CIS is that when your kiddos are in middle school, you can take those kids that are in 8th grade going into 9th grade and you can transfer those students into the 9th grade. Same for high school. If you've got your graduating class, you take those guys and you're going to move them out and you're going to move them into the adult site so that they can always have access to their portfolio and their information and continually use it for the rest of their lives. That is the great thing about MCIS. As far as if you have an adult site type, say you're a job service or you have WIOA clients, you would have an adult site. Now, that being said, those portfolios can also be transferred from site to site as well. And you can also, if you're middle school or a high school and your kids leave the school and go to a different school, we can transfer those portfolios from one school to another also. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense to everybody. Okay, so I'm going to show you the process. So first of all, when you click on the transfer portfolio button that we just did, it's going to show you a list of all of your students or clients in the system. Okay, and so we're on the high school side, so I just set this up so that you could see how you can group your students and then move them all at once. So you just go up here to the search settings and click on that. And then you can either select a group or you can select by graduation year. So with middle school students and high school students, I would click on select by graduation year. And we're going to click the drop down. We're going to go to 2020 and we're going to generate the portfolio list. Now by doing that, it gives me just the list of my seniors, okay? So over here on this side, there's a select. If you click on that, it's going to check box all of your students. Okay, so once you do that, you're going to go up here and you're going to click on the Transfer Selected Portfolios button. Now this can be the tricky part. So you're going to need a username and password of the school or agency that you're transferring these portfolios to. So I am going to transfer these portfolios out to the adult site because we're in the high school site. But if I was transferring middle school students to a high school, I would need the high school's username and password to transfer those. And just to make it clear, it is not your administrative or your staff account username and password that you're putting in here. Every agency has a generic username and password that they can transfer portfolios with. If you're not aware of what that username and password is, you can contact us and we can get that to you, no problem. Okay. So to transfer to the adult site is a common one, and we can give that out to anybody who needs that also. So this is going to be empty zip, and then the password is going to be capital M, the rest lowercase, Montana 17. Okay, so we have that in there, and we're going to just click continue. And now it says these accounts have been transferred to the Montana Zip login. So now those accounts are transferred out to that Montana Zip login, or the resident login that we talked about earlier. And now those students can continue on using their portfolios for as long as they want to. Now, if for some reason you had put in something wrong, it's going to tell you that there was an error of some sort. So you would have to just double check that username and password and make sure you're typing it in correctly. Okay. And that is basically how you transfer portfolios. It is pretty easy. Another thing I should mention is students also can transfer their own portfolios, but it's the same kind of deal. They have to know what the username and password is to that school that they're transferring their portfolio to. So again, if anybody needs that information, you can definitely contact us, and I will give you our contact information again here shortly, and we can give you those logins to move those portfolios around. So yeah, that was pretty quick. I mean, we did that in less than 15 minutes, so that's pretty sweet. I am going to unmute everyone so you can ask questions. All right, if you want to ask questions, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Danetta, this is Jan, and do we use that username and password then for the transferring any of the accounts to adult? The one you put on Montana Zip?
Yes, that is the one. So if you guys want to write that one down, if you're transferring your kids out of the high school into the adult site, that is the login. That's the username and password you're going to want to use. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Back to that other question that was earlier. What is the Facebook page title? Oh, the Facebook page title. Sorry, I was focused on the webinar thing. It should just be Montana Career Lab. I'm sorry. So let me show you real quick. I always say real quick, and then that takes my computer forever to get to a page. So there is the Facebook page. It's still slowly coming up. But yeah, it's just Montana Career Lab is the title. Let me see, any other questions up here? Do they use their same username and password they had for high school? Yes, they will continue to use whatever their username and password was. And let's see, do all high school seniors' portfolios automatically get transferred? No, they do not. That is a very good question. So they do not automatically get transferred. Someone at the school has to transfer them, or you can contact us and we can help transfer those portfolios also. But as you can see, it's pretty easy to do. But yes, so somebody at the middle school will have to transfer those 8th grade kids to the 9th grade to the high school. And then when they graduate, somebody from the high school will transfer their portfolios. But like I said, the students can also transfer their own portfolios. And for them to do that, they would just go into their settings, their account settings on their page, and there's a space under account settings where they can transfer to a different site.
Can you show us?
Yes. Since we have time, I can show you. I haven't logged into this one before. So underneath their name up here, they can go to account settings, and then there's change schools or organizations, and they can click on that. And then
this is the adult side that she's on right now, because it's got a gold, it's got a aqua bar.
Yes, it is. But it's the same process for every site type. But yes, Mary Ellen has a good point. So you can tell you're in different site types by what color the bars are across the top. So this is the adult site type. The high school site has a red bar across the top, and the junior site has a lime green bar across the top. So that's how you can tell what site you're in. And you can also tell up here. So this account that I just logged into is actually under the Montana resident login. And I can tell that because it says Montana zip up here. Let me see. What if they forgot their password and username after they graduate high school? They can contact us and we can reset that for them. So that's good information for them to know. So maybe if you have your high schoolers and they're getting ready to graduate, some of those things are good just to let them know. Maybe you could do like a little thing on, okay, here's if you want to change you to a different site, here's how you can do it. If you forget your username and password, contact. So if you go to the main login screen, there's also a technical support is where it's at, contact. And that has our information, and they could also type in here and just say, I forgot my password, and we can get a hold of them and reset their passwords. Another question, do high school students have one username and password for MCIS and another user and password for their portfolio? No, so they should only have one username and password. What we recommend is for you to set up their username and passwords for them and give them those, and then they log in with that username and password potentially forever. So they should just have the one. If you have questions on that, you can also contact us and we can walk you through how to set up portfolios. And that is also in our MCIS resources under the tutorial section on creating portfolios. So yes, hopefully you would just be able to do the batch upload of your students into the system. And the great thing about that is it's all done through a spreadsheet. So then you would actually have a spreadsheet that would have their username and passwords on them. And you would be able to refer to that if they forgot it or needed to change it or something like that came up. Does anybody
Donetta,
else have any questions? Oh,
can you point
go
to
ahead.
the Facebook on the webpage?
Facebook on the web page. Which one? There's find us on Facebook up here at the top. Is that what you mean?
There, and then the other one where they could just click on the bar next to the resources.
Let me show you again. So this doesn't take you to Facebook, but it opens up because not everybody is on Facebook. I also post them to the web page. So anything that I post out on Facebook is also posted here to this web page. So this is obviously not Facebook, but like I said, if people don't have Facebook, then at least they can still see what we're posting. Well, if there's not any other questions, let me just scan through here one more time. It looks like I answered all the questions in the question area. So thanks everybody for joining us today. Oh, let me put up our contact information again real quick. So there's our contact information. If you need to contact me, I'm Donetta McDowell. I can't even say my own name today. And there's my email and phone number. And then also Mary Ellen and her information. And then we also have a generic mailbox that gets checked every day. That's mcrn@mt.gov that you can send us questions or anything to. All right, guys, thanks for joining us. And I hope you got some good information out of today. And just remember, if you need anything, let us know. Have a good day, everybody.